beautiful people. It is I, your sister from another Mr. ThickChickVlogs, and yes, we are here with another story time video. I know you guys probably weren't looking for me to come back with another story time this soon, but girl, y'all already know that I told y'all that I can't come back with them story times unless something can come back to my memory, my recollection, and something came back to my recollection, girl. And therefore, we are here with another storytime video. Only what? I did the other one like a week ago about the whole little situation with the hoes in the bathroom. Yeah, we ain't even talk about it. Go and watch that storytime if you want to see it, girl. It's kind of TMI if you guys, just so you know, it's a little bit TMI, and we are in a different setting. I'm in my bedroom right now because I kind of, it's 2016. I want to give you guys a little bit of a different scenery and things like that. So what the fuck it is, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this storytime. My worst boyfriend ever. Now, I will say this, or I should call it, the crazy, psycho, abusive boyfriend. Now, let me make it clear before anybody be like, wow, Thick Chick was getting her ass whooped. No, never that, okay? But it could have easily turned into a very bad situation to where this fool would have probably wanted to whoop my ass. Okay, just saying. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm telling you guys how I met him. Now, I do want to make it clear that this is stuff that happened back in, I'm going to say, I'm just guessing here, between 2005 and 2008, somewhere around up in through there, okay? This is when I was living downtown by myself in the studio apartment, the one that I told y'all was like, that was haunted and shit. You guys can go back and watch that, my paranormal vlog or whatever the hell it's called, if you want to hear about that shit, girl, because it is cray if you guys want to hear about that. But that's when I was living downtown, okay? Like I said, studio apartment, we didn't have any washer dry hookups or anything like that, so I used to go to this place called the Soap and Suds all the time to wash my clothes because we didn't have wash and dry hookup. And if you guys go back to some of my previous vlogs, you can probably see in those vlogs, I used to always vlog in my car and tell you guys that I was at the laundromat washing my clothes and I couldn't wait till I moved. You guys can probably go back and watch some of those vlogs, and this was when I was at the Soap and Suds washing my clothes. But this particular day, I was at the Soap and Suds washing my clothes, coming out of the laundromat. Don't remember exactly what the fuck happened, what day it was, what the weather was like. I don't remember any of that stuff. But I remember coming out of the Soap and Suds, and I was looking down at my phone doing something. Had my laundry detergent in my hand. I had already took my clothes in there, put them in the washing machine, put my detergent in there and everything. And I was coming back out to my car because I didn't, not to be funny or trying to sound bougie, but I didn't necessarily like sitting in them places. I just didn't, you know what I'm saying? I used to like to sit in my car. And so I came back outside to sit in my car. But as I was coming out, before I get to my car, there's this dude who's like, the way that the Soap and Suds was set up, it was like a shopping center. You had a quick pawn place, a title loan place. You had the Soap and Suds, and you had a liquor store, and then it was I think it was the recruiter place, but it was like I don't know if it was the Navy Marines or some shit like that. It was like a recruiter place. Then they had a, what the hell was that place? Not Aaron's. It was Baby Leasing, and then it was a Little Caesars Pizza. In this whole little shopping center, okay? So as I'm coming out looking at my phone, I just so happen to glance up, and I see this motherfucker standing down at the other end of this, the sidewalk. You can walk up down the sidewalk if you want to get to the different, places in this little shopping center. So I look down and I see this fool standing down at the end of the thing. I'm like, why the fuck is this fool staring at me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Don't get me wrong, he was kind of cute, but I was just kind of figuring out what the fuck he was staring at me for. I can't stand the type of person who would sit there and just stare at somebody. I mean, if you got something to say to somebody, say it, but I can't stand a motherfucker that just sit there and just be looking at y'all stupid and think, go watch my worst day ever if you want to see how I feel about a motherfucker just... I can't stand that. But anyway, as I'm doing all that and I notice he looking at me, I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm about to go on about my business. All of a sudden he comes like flying down the damn sidewalk, not running full speed or anything like that, but he was walking at a fast pace. Then he was like, hold on, he was like, are you from such and such? Of course, the typical shit that people say when they're trying to, spark a little bit of conversation. He was like, are you from such and such? I was like, no. He was like, you look familiar. I was like, well, no, I'm not from. He was like, well, where you from? Like I said, of course, you know this. The next thing they're gonna come out their mouth when they ask you, are you from such and such? They know damn well they don't know you from a hole in the goddamn wall. But of course, they're trying to spark conversation. And I was like, nah. So I told him where I was from, etc., etc. He was like, oh, okay, I got people from down there. I'm like, okay, this is an awkward ass conversation. I was like, but okay. And then he was like, so, you single? The typical shit. Now, he was kind of crude. Okay, he was kind of crude. So I was like, motherfucker, I was single. So I was like, yeah. He was like, so can I get your number? I was like, no. Because back then, I was very paranoid. And I have another story time that I'm going to do probably next week or something like that and let you guys know why I was paranoid. So I was like, I can get your number. And of course, back then, motherfuckers sit there and be like, okay, well, let me put it in your phone. Negro, what's your number? I'm not going to hand you my phone for you to program your number in my phone. Just tell me your number. I'll type it in my phone. And of course, just go ahead and call me so I can get your number too. Look, fool, what's your number? And I'm going to put it in my phone, okay? So I put his number in my phone, and I don't remember how long it was before I called him. I don't know if it was a day or two or whatever, because he was going into the Little Caesars Pizza. That's the whole reason why he was in this little shopping center. He wasn't washing his clothes and then like that. He was going into the Little Caesars Pizza to get a pizza. So I don't know if it was a day or later, 2 days later. I don't exactly remember, because I'm not one of them people who feel like, okay, if a person give you their number, you need to wait at least a week before you call them. No, because hell, back then I was fucking lonely and shit. So I just, motherfucker, shit, he was a nice looking dude, so I was like, why not go ahead on and call him? Okay, but I did wait like 24 hours. I didn't call him motherfucker like 5 minutes later. I didn't want to seem desperado, okay? So I guess the next day, I'm going to say the next day, I called him and we had a general conversation, and this fool was, of course, he was already on that old Machiavelli type of shit. Everyone needs their own Machiavelli, a man she can call when her brother ain't doing her right. Work it all night until the morning light, make it feel right. But anyway, he was on that type of shit, okay, just trying to mac and shit, and I'm like, the fuck, talking about how he seen me goddamn floating and shit in his dream. This nigga was on, y'all, when I tell you, he was on some goddamn, suave type of shit, but it was kind of smooth. I ain't even sit there and lie. But anyway, as we talked over the next couple of days. He decided he wanted to ask me out on a date. So I did. I went out on a date with him or whatever. And like I said, everything was cool. This dude seemed like a really, really cool person. Now, he was older than me. Now, mind you, I'm 30 now and shit, so you do the goddamn math. I ain't got time to do the math in my head because I don't remember the exact age that I was. But he was older than me. Like, I'm going to say, because that's the thing. I still to this day don't know this motherfucker exact age because he never would tell me his exact age, okay? But anyway, I'm going to say he was probably about 8, 9 years old because he was a compulsive liar. He was, y'all, when I tell y'all this man was a compulsive liar, and I'm so glad I ain't never laid down with this goddamn man because when I tell you psychedelic, okay? I didn't know this Negro 2 months and he had to turn into a straight psychopath, okay? So let me go ahead and explain to you guys why I say he was the worst boyfriend ever, okay? Because we did decide we were gonna make it official, okay? Motherfucker, we ain't even too much as kissed, and we already talking about we making it official after goddamn, I'm gonna say 3 weeks. We in a relationship together, and goddamn it, I ain't never seen the inside of your goddamn house. Motherfucker, I don't even know if you even have a house, okay? But let me tell you something. He knew where I live because I'm a damn food. I used to invite the food over, goddamn, like I said, didn't know him less than a month, inviting his food over, cooking dinner and shit. That's why I say, ladies, you have to be careful when it comes to dealing with these dudes because you never know who is crazy and who not crazy, okay? And like I said, I just dodged a bullet with this food. So let me give you guys the perfect example of how all this shit started. All this shit started when this girl that I was working with was having a birthday party for her daughter at the Old Charles. And you know when you got a group of a bunch of children, you want some adult supervision because you can't have all them damn kids in a restaurant and you don't have adult supervision. So she asked me to come to the Old Charles with them, so I kind of like supervised the kids. All the parents weren't gonna be there. So this fool was calling me while I was at the Old Charlie's, and of course, I didn't hear my phone because we at the damn party, the kids just having a good old time and all this type of shit, so I'm not necessarily even paying attention to my damn phone, okay, to be brutally honest with you. So later on that night, he calls my phone, he was like, I've been calling your phone. I was like, okay, I was helping out with one of my co-workers' little girl birthday party at Old Charlie's, like that. He was like, well, what's her name? I'm like, what? What's her name? So I tell him her name, he was like, oh, well, I ain't never met her. So I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck does that have to do with the prostituting child? So you haven't met her. What's the big dealio in this whole little scenario? What are you trying to get at, okay? This fool said, if I want to go anywhere with anybody, I need to ask his permission. So I started to laugh because I'm thinking this motherfucker bullshit, okay? And the whole time he's silent on the other end of the phone, so I'm still laughing. I'm thinking the shit is funny. Never thinking anything else about it. You know how sometimes your boyfriend or your husband or shit, some shit will be, saying a little joke, and he'll be like, well, I don't know her, so you can't go, but he's joking. So I'm thinking the fool joking on the other end of the phone, never thinking anything else of this whole little situation. Let me give you something else that happened. So one night, y'all, I'm telling you, it had to be every bit of 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay, 1 o'clock in the morning, and thank God the way my apartment was set up. I talked about this in my other video as well. It was kind of like Fort Knox. You had to literally buzz the person's apartment that you wanted to go to. I could turn it to channel. I don't remember if it was 32, 42, whatever channel it was. And it was like a security camera downstairs where the person is buzzing at, and you can see who's buzzing trying to get upstairs. And it's a little button you press to let them in. So I turned it to the channel, and I see this fool. Now, mind you, he didn't call, he didn't text, and then to say, can I come over? So I'm like, what the fuck? So, of course, I ignored the shit. Act like I was motherfucking asleep. Motherfucker, you ain't called, you ain't said shit, you ain't asked me previously, can you come over? So, as far as you know, at this particular point in time, I'm asleep, okay? So, the family, literally. I'm assuming he got pissed because he was down for about 5 minutes trying to buzz my apartment. Boom, boom, and I'm not, like I said, I'm ignoring the shit. Because number one, I hate when a person shows up unannounced to somebody's apartment and expects you to just open the door. No, and like I said, if it's some type of emergency or some shit like that and you just popping up, that's different. But if you just popping up at my shit just off GP, I'm gonna sit there and be goddamn flicking the TV. I ain't paying your ass not a bit of attention because you didn't announce yourself before you came over here, okay? So, when he left, this motherfucker got here. This motherfucker done spent off in his truck all pissed off and shit. Call my phone back to back to back, calling me all kind of bitches and hoes and all this type of shit. I know you got a motherfucking nigga up there that you're fucking. I'm family. Like I said, I didn't know this dude for like 2 months, and he was going off on me talking about calling me all kind of bitches and hoes and how he know I got a nigga up in the house, I'm fucking and all this type of shit. Family. When I tell you from that moment on, I was like, oh hell no, I don't want shit else to do with this fool. Let me tell you something. Back then, I was so damn young and dumb and stupid. Guess what I did? The next day, I accepted the fool phone call after he done apologized, and I sat there and told him, fool, look, I was asleep, etc., etc. What the hell is this in my damn head? Something was in my head, I'm sorry about that. But, the next day, of course, he gonna apologize once I told him I was asleep because he saw my car outside. I was like, I was asleep. So you gonna leave all these damn messages on my phone calling me all kind of bitches and hoes, etc., etc. I'm sorry. I just thought you had some dude up in there with you. I'm thinking to myself, motherfucker, you mean to tell me just because I didn't answer my door, you automatically assumed that I had some dude up in my apartment? Even if I did, motherfucker, so kiss my ass, motherfucker. We ain't known each other for 2 months, okay? You acting crazy as fuck. But again, that's back when I was, going through my whole little situation. That was before I found Jesus, girl. Before I found Jesus, so I was, depressed and all this type of stuff, and I kind of wanted a little bit of male companionship. I'm gonna be brutally honest. So I accepted his little apology, and we moved it on swiftly, motherfucking perfect. Shout out to my brother from another mother, Justin J1232. But let me tell you about the straw that broke the camel's back. Now, back then, I had this little broke down car because I was working at, I don't remember if I was working at the homeless shelter or if I was working at the inventory company. I don't exactly remember. I think I was working at the homeless shelter. Or was I working at the, I don't remember. I was working at one of them, the homeless shelter or the inventory company. I don't exactly remember. But like I said, I had a little ragged ass car. The battery stayed going dead. I had to rebuild my alternator a couple of times. So he was one of those types of people that I would give him this. Like if my car broke down, he would come over and he'll look at it and jump my battery off or whatever he needed to do to get me from point A to point B. Because like I said, back then I was young, I ain't had no goddamn money, none of that. And one particular day my battery had went dead and he came over to jump me off. So I was like, okay, I just need you to jump me off right now. But I said, I called my daddy and he said he gonna buy me one of those battery chargers. Because when I went to work, I lived, like I said, I don't remember if I was working at, I think I was working at a homeless shelter, and it had to be. Because I think I remember telling him that when I got off work, I didn't have nobody to jump my car off. I think that's, so I had to be working at the homeless shelter then. But anyway, I told him that I had called my dad, and my dad said he was going to get my mom to bring me up a battery charger, you know, so I can just hook my car up to the battery charger and just charge it that way. I won't have to get people to jump me off. I said, well, nobody back there at the homeless shelter to jump me off at the time that I got off anyway, it was just me and the ladies. So I remember he told me, he said, you called your daddy. I was like, yeah, I called my dad to, you know, get me a battery, a thing to jump on my battery when I'm at work. I said, I work goddamn 30 minutes away from the house. Ain't nobody out there in them damn sticks for me to call, because where the homeless shelter was, it was in a, what they call a secluded place behind a gate and shit like that. Hell, one time I had to call the tow truck, and they didn't even want to come back there. They said I had to have written permission in order for them to come back there because it was private property. And I wasn't trying to go through all that old type of bullshit. You had to put in a code and all this stuff, and they didn't like men back there, girl. It was a hot shitty ass mess. So I was like, yeah, I called my dad. He was like, well, next time you make sure you, well, long as you up here, you tell your daddy, long as you up here, I'm your daddy. And I'm looking at this motherfucker like, oh hell, now see, you didn't royally fucked up now. You just sat there and told me that, to tell my daddy that as long as I'm in this city and you hear that you my daddy and he's not my dad. I was like, oh hell, you got me fucked to the up. I said, you know what, motherfucker? I said, you call and you tell him, okay? I was like, the very time you call my daddy and said some old fucked up shit like that, talking about he's not my daddy, you my daddy, he gonna wanna know where the fuck you live. And he gonna wanna come and blow your shit smooth clean off your shoulders, okay? So, I mean, my daddy he didn't play about his kids at all. He didn't play about his money or his family. That's two things that my daddy did not play about. And for you to sit there and say some shit like that, talking about tell your daddy, long as you here, he ain't your daddy, I'm your daddy. And this motherfucker was serious, family. Like, he was like mad because I called my daddy to get me the battery jumper thing. So I was like, you know what? I said, okay, pretended like I'm all cool and kosher and shit. I said, okay, got this motherfucker to jump my car off, dip to work, text this motherfucker. I said, nigga, don't you ever, and your light don't show up in my shit no more. I said, I promise you, if I ever see you around my apartment again, I will call the police on your ass for stalking and harassment. Of course, this motherfucker called me all kind of fat, ugly bitches and all this. I'm thinking to myself, motherfucker, you approached me, I didn't approach you. Okay, you approached ThickChickVlogs. ThickChickVlogs did not approach you, so of course now, since I done told your old crazy psychedelic bipolar ass that I don't want shit else to do with you, and if I see you again, I'm gonna call the goddamn authorities on your ass. Now I'm all kind of fat bitches, okay? Oh, fat bitch, I ain't want you anyway, mother. So what the fuck did you want? You never got anything out of me. We never laid down and had any kind of sexual relations, so I'm still trying to figure out why the fuck you was even that goddamn crazy, okay? I'm thinking to myself, what if I would've laid down and gave this fool some? He would've shown up been straight up psychedelic, okay? So ladies, the first time a dude sit there and comes off as being a little bit too controlling or whatever, like this fool was, like this fool literally wanted me to ask him permission to do any damn thing. Like I said, I literally knew this fool all of 2 months, okay? And this fool wanted me to ask him permission to do simple things like calling my father and asking him for something. This fool told me to tell my dad that as long as I am in his presence, he is my father. Seriously? Let me know about your worst experiences with dudes down in the comment section. Have you ever dated anyone who turned out to be controlling? How the hell did you end up getting yourself out of that situation? You might be a person who's in a controlling relationship right now. Let me know in the comment section down below. And thumbs this video up for more of these story times. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.